Hi guys, Lord Al here. I've been for a few, I think it's nearly 4 weeks since I've been back on the camera. Excuse me. First off, it was the weather. It didn't stop me coming down here. I was trying to do things, but I was struggling to motivate myself to do any filming because of the weather. It was, as you all know, it was damp and cold. You get all sorts, and it's no fun sitting in a damp, cold shed, you know. Yes, I can warm it up. It takes an hour to warm it up to get it to what I want, feel comfortable like this. Now the weather's changed again. I'm back in a t-shirt and the sun's on the roof warming the shed up. So it's dissipating the moisture out of here, the humidity. What are we up to? 61%. See? 22 degrees in here, and that's just from the sun on the shed, and 61 humidity. So it proves I'm out of the winter in a way, because I've got the sun over the house now. I'm not in the shadow anymore. So the winter's there. So I've been coming down here, and I thought, you spend a lifetime building it, why don't I run trains? So I'm trying to run trains, and when you realise that you've got, I think the last count was 30, maybe 35 locos. Which train do you run with which rolling stock? I know I run anything, but when you get it, you undo the drawers, you know, and you get all the stuff out and you put it on, and you get your rolling stock out. I got all the tankers and all that yellow stuff and all that. All the coaches are up there, and some of the freight, and you begin to think, what the hell, you know? What do I run with what? And it's a terrible choice to make. I hate to think how Jenny Kirk does it with over 200-300 locos. How she makes her mind up. She must have a theme thing going on, you know. And of course everybody asks, oh, have you got this, have you got that, or can we have a Gronk session, you know. Well, fair enough, she's got them all, but it's very difficult to find out what to run on a regular basis, you know. It pleases you. So what I'm about to tell you, I thought, I know what, I haven't had the big boy out for a while. We'll sort that out. So that big boy come out, and then I find out the traction tyres are knackered. It's split. Well, I've had it a couple of years. I mean, fair dues. It hasn't had a lot of mileage, but rubber, Hornby rubber, you know. What can you say? So then I started hunting for tyres, and I'll show you that clip in a minute. Then I started hunting for tyres for the 66s, because there was a few of them need replacing. And the thing with the 66, when you take the old tyre off, you think you've got a full flange recess where the rubber tyre sits in. Yeah, if you get the right tyre. Then I found some tyres, and they fitted two of the Hornby 66s. Then I found the next 66 I looked at, the bloody wheel was different. It was a narrower tyre and thinner. So again, got the tyres, and this is taking weeks, you know, and you don't want to be down here in the cold and the damp, and oh Jesus. Now I've got the right tyres, but you'll find a lot of Hornby traction tyres, you may get the right one for one, but the same model, maybe a different year, they've changed the wheel because the size of the recess for the tyre has changed. So that's, anyway, and yeah, that's what I've been doing on and off. And then I thought, do you know, I'm going to play more with the new steam train going round. The Hornby what do they call it? Steam generator one. Yeah. Now, fair dues, touch wood, has never let me down. No problems. I've only cleaned the wheels on it once, and that's another winter problem. It leaves like a film. It's no, I'm not filming. A film on the on the track. It's weird. Because you've seen in my films, the track is polished, yeah, and that's done by the new Gauge Master track rubber. Okay, it's not so much a rubber; it's a polisher, and you've seen it on the camera. My tracks shine, and that's why. But during the winter time and these past few months, it's developed a film, and it's like a corrosion layer on the top because of the damp and the cold and all that. Oh, anyway, because the track's warming up now, it's coming back to life. But anyway, I was doing this steam train going round, and it got to here, and I was trying to do some filming. I thought I'll do some classic filming here, slow mo and all that, and one thing and another. And every time the train got to this corner, it would stop. It just stopped, and it's just wheel spinning. I thought, shit. So then you take every carriage off, every one, link them all up, see what's free. Oh, all the carriages are running free. Then you take the train off. You're thinking, oh, is it binding somewhere? What have you? So you're cleaning the wheels, you're oiling them, you're making sure it's all free, and the train goes round great. It's speed step 5, 6, even 10, because you get the sound and the steam's going. And I'm trying to film it, and I wanted to do a short film of going round this corner, coming into the station on speed step 1, which is perfect. Speed step 1 out of 28. And every time it got, just as it gets to the straight to come into the station, just stops. And it just sits there, wheel spinning. And I thought, what the hell is going on? Anyway, after a long assessment, the track comes up, track's out, game over. And it turns out, I've got it here somewhere, it's a third radius curve, okay? And if you put the two third radiuses curves together, and these have been down a few years now, yeah, quite a few years. If you put them together, okay, there's a gap between, they don't sit flat, okay? But the other thing which happened to stop the train, it did get to that point there. There should be the straight part here. It get to that point there, and it just stopped. And what it was, there was a slight twist in the rail. Slight twist in the rail. Because of the expansion and contraction over the years, bits of ballast was getting underneath it. And it only shows up in slow speed, and it twisted the track, as daft as it may seem. Well, I thought the outer edge here on the rail was worn, and the wheels on the loco was digging in. Anyway, so in the end, if in doubt, rip it out, do it again. So I ripped it out. It's got a new curve in there now, 2 third radius curves, and a new straight into the platform. So that cured that. So I have no issues, but that's what it was. It's the track had lifted slightly, but it had a fraction of an inch twist as well. So it made the train jamming itself, but the drive was going, but it just wouldn't let things. So since I've done it, changed all the track, I have now ballasted it, but I haven't glued it. It's running great, absolutely spot on. At speed step 1, no issue, no slowdown. I had noticed in the past there was the odd slowdown, but when you're running diesels you don't tend to get that. But it was only the steamers that tended to slow down that little bit, but that new train showed it up. Like I said, if in doubt, rip it out and go for it again. And just clean the base, absolutely clean the base. You don't need bloody cork around like that. I don't have cork at most of this layout. I only use cork for packing in case the board's got a dip in it, yeah? And that's the only reason I put cork in, mainly. But as for there's no cork that goes around there and up all the way out there. There's a little bit of cork there because there was a slope. But there you go. It's been a very frustrating 3 or 4 weeks, fault finding and doing different things. So I'd like to say a few thank yous to Moorland Model Railway, Andy from Moorland Model Railway. He's just put up a film and he's put a Lord Al's Lavvy on. He's finally got round to filming it. He got the Lavvy back in the Gets last October, but he was in Staffold Barn, money, he was there. And Donegal Dad, thank you very much, give Andy a Lord Al's Lavvy, so that's on his layout and it's in his latest movie. That layout of his is absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning it is. I don't know how he fits it all in, to be honest. There's that much detail in it. And then, who else has done? Oh, Graham from Woodhill Park. He's built this station, hasn't he? Oh my God. Oh, does it look fantastic. And he's got all the details in. It's as bad as Tony Northeastern. He's got interior, stairways, cabinets. Oh, it's fantastic. Beautiful job he's done on it, absolutely beautiful. And then he creates a scene at the end where the Queen turns up, or Queenish, to, what do they call it? Open it, grand opening. Great scene. Graham at Woodhill Park. It's well worth a watch. And then Charlie Bishop comes up with a new station made by Steve from Laser Lines. Because I've been thinking how to replace this side here, rebuild all this station area. That's for the future anyway at the moment. Who else is on? Robert's back in the loft. Things are going great. And who else is there? There's been a few. Colin, did you see Colin Hensgage? Woodthorpe International. He's built this huge mountain. It'd be up here somewhere above the telly. And he's got a track that comes down the hill on a winch. The bogies for moving logs down. Oh, it's doing a fabulous job. There's so much going on. And then I can't get myself motivated to do some filming. Well, in the end, because it's warmed up a little bit, I have done a little bit of filming, but I'll show you what I've been doing here, basically. And then me traction tyres and one thing and another. I'll show you that now. I think that's about it. Let's get on with the film. Oh, there's been so much going on behind the scenes, you know. I need Netflix to come and film me. Vote on that. Right, let's get on with the film, what I'm going to show you. Back in a minute. As you can see, this is the big boy. Right, and as I was mentioning, the wheel, which wheel? Not that bogey's there, they're alright. It's this bogey, the front bogey, and it's that wheel there, okay? And what's on that wheel there? Every crankshaft you can think of, okay? And the nut, let's use a pointer, the nut here is a 2.5 mil nut. So if you've got one of them Hornby spanner things, they won't fit. This is far too big. This is a 2.5 millimeter. Well, it's actually a bolt, not a nut. So when you take the nut off, this motion steam valve comes off, then this conrod, then that conrod there, and there's another conrod at the back of that. But in the middle of it, there's a washer and a sleeve that goes over the pin. And then there's a very, very fine brass type washer at the back. So by the time you do this job, you think, how did it go back together? So you use the other side as a reference. Don't take two sides off at once. So then you can put it all back on. Okay? Once you've fitted the tyre. But let me show you the tyre. Right, guys. Now the problems I've had with this big boy getting the tyres. Okay? First of all, I rang 2K Technologies. And the guy answered the phone. It says inquiries, ring Richard so-and-so. So I rang him up and I said, is that Richard? I says, Alan here. I'm inquiring about traction tyres. Oh, I'm too busy, he said. I'm doing labelling. And put the phone down on me. I thought, you're off the speed dial, mate. You're gone. No more business with you. Anyway, he just happened to have on his website, whether it is or not, I don't know, but the name that come was this name here. I don't know what, let's have a look here, can you read that? Anyway, if you look, where's the website there? It's this name, and it's, what does it say? Well, I can't see, it's upside down to me here. I don't know whether I should be doing it the other way up. Going to that reading. I can read it now. There we go. Anyway, it's Triangle Hornby Lima Spares. .co.uk, and it's this name Anthwaite or something. This is a label that come with it, not through 2K Technologies. That's the name. Anyway, this was the old tyres. Let me zoom out again. These two here were the old tyres which had split. Now if you look at these, they look a similar size, okay? X8101. So I thought, oh, get them. So it turns up, all right? Same size. But what you find is that the depth of rubber is more than the ones that come off. So I give it the benefit of the doubt because of wear and tear. Anyway, I fitted these, struggled to get it past the brake blocks on the train, as you've seen in the film, and I run the train, and it derailed on every lap, derailed, even going down the straight, derailed. So I thought, what the hell's going on here? Has my track got screwed up or what? Anyway, then I realised that the actual tyre depth was too deep compared to the ones that's come off. So, in my wisdom, I bought other traction tyres, wasting your money as you do. It cost me about 25 quid in the end. This tyre here is designed for a 66. Thin and narrow, yeah? It's a narrow type tyre, if you can see it. And you can see there's a difference in size. Well, that's the tyre it fitted. Yes, I had to stretch it on a little bit. It went past the brake blocks a lot easier, and I've had no issues since then of doing with that 66 thin tyre. And you can get these are supposed to be 66s, and these are supposed to be 66s. But it's the tyre depth that screws it over. Yes, these tyres actually fitted 266s, which I mentioned, but when they come to another 66, it requires this type of tyre because the flange recess is different. So it's a bloody minefield, but that's what happened in the end. That's the ones that come off. That's the one I bought, didn't work, and that's the ones there, which was designed for a 66 narrow type recessed wheel. There's nothing I can do to help you any otherwise. It's one of them things. It's trial and error, basically. You have to buy a bunch of tyres to find out which one fits. Unbelievable. And yet it says, oh, this'll fit this'll fit this, like hell it bloody does. The tyre size may be correct in diameter, but it's the tyre depth, the depth of the rubber. That's what screws you up. And I can guarantee you put the wrong tyre on and it'll derail on the first corner. Definitely. But there you go. That's what I've had to do. It was a lot of... This has took 2 weeks, basically, to accumulate this, do the big boy and test it. And now it's perfect. I am happy to say. All because it's on a narrow Class 66 tyre. Okay? Right. As I say, moving on. Back last October, we went to Getz. And I went to Getz and got scanned. Okay? These are the 00 versions. And these are the O gauge ones. Yes, we're going back to 2024 now at Getz. And me and Pete from Delft Junction got scanned, one after another. Okay? So you can get some mini me's now. They should be in the catalogue, okay? But for me, it paid 65 quid to get scanned, okay? It's took 5 months to get this far. 5 months I finally get my figures I paid for, okay? Which I was mildly pissed off about, to be honest. Taking 5 months. And not only that, the painted one, the finished article, it should have been same as these 00. They can't even get it done. I'm still waiting on the finished version of this, decorated version. Just thought I'd let you know on that. But if you want a mini me, you can get them in the catalogue, I should imagine. And they look all right. The actual figure, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just the finished version never come up. I don't know if you can see that. Is that? Or is it easier to do on there, on the white background? Let's have a look here. Zoom in. Yeah, it's the actual print's not so bad, but it's the finished version. It hasn't turned up yet, and it is now 6 months since we got scanned. That's all I'm saying. I better tell you that I got my money back, because they'll be on the phone to me. They apologised, sent these, and we got a total 100% refund. But like I said, we're still waiting Still waiting on the finished version, and I can't show you that one. They've asked me not to, because that's how bad it is. So there you go, guys. That's another little issue we've been putting up with. Right, guys, Black 5 steam generator 44726. I've got an issue with my track. It's come to light. Now, it's showing up more with this train than others. But I have noticed a problem with others because of the track. Okay? Now, if I pan round just a little bit here, this curve here, it comes into the station before I move anything. Right. What I'll do is remove the houses, and I'll give you a better view of what's going on and what I need to do. Let me just put these houses up here. Right, they're out of the way safe. Okay. Need to clean up as you do. Great. Well, move the signal box as well. And I'll move the little carriage. Well, they're safely out of the way. So, the train goes around this curve, but when it gets to that point there, for some unknown reason, it stops. And I will demonstrate. Now I'm going on speed step 1, okay? And I'm doing it with the sound on because you, the people, tend to like that type of thing. Okay, so we'll go with speed step 1. And as you can see, the train's working perfectly. Okay? Now, I have no issues there on that section into the first curve. On the second half of the curve, I hope this does this because I've turned the camera on. There, see? Just stops. Now, I don't understand the issue, but what I'm going to do is replace all of that. And I've had it with other locos as well. When it gets to that point there, it slows down. Whether it's this, I don't know. Whether there's too much drag on this, I don't know. But I've only got to nudge it or put a little bit of weight on it. Starting to go. There you go. So, this piece of track I'm going to change out, which is the full 90-degree curve and the straight down to the station platform where this is now, this straight. I'm going to replace that with new stuff. But you've also got to remember, this is the original track. This has been down 7 years. Now, is it getting to the point where have I overpinned it or have I actually wore it out? And what I want to do is take this curve out and replace it, as I've said, but I want to check it on the old gauge on this. I want to see if I can see if there's an issue or are we tightening up there. So just send this out of the way, and we'll get stuck into ripping that piece of track out. should be simple enough to do. But like I said, but it's part of the original. There we go. Train's disappeared out to the outside there. Like I said, I don't know whether it's a wearing thing on the inside of this rail here somewhere. For some unknown reason, or this joint, something's holding it. And what can you do? So I'm going to replace it. So you can hear the train coming back in. Put it in a safe place. Out of the way. And then we can turn everything off and take the track out and see how we get on. Okay, back in a sec. It's a small quick issue. I found out that my station is loose. As daft as it may seem. Let's take the shop out of the way as well. Keep that safe. So basically we got to replace this curve here and the straight down here. Now fortunately this is one length of flexi track. I'll have to take the little bits out and tidy this up and put the station back in. I wondered why there was a gap here. I knew some of the longer carriages used to touch the station edge, but I didn't realise it was loose. That's why there was a big gap. But we'll fix that issue while we're at it. Right, back in a sec. Let's have a look. There we are. Right, turns out there's only 5 pins. Okay, so I got the track out, and what I don't understand why it stops here and entering there like that. Because when you look at it, I didn't have any pins near there, so I haven't bent the track there. So let's have a look. See if there is any issue with the gauging on it. Turn it on, there we go, zero out. I wonder if there is any gauging, because that's where it was stopping, just there. Can you see? Not, you want to get the rail itself, not the flat part. It's a cheap gauge off Temu this, but it works when you get it right. So, you know you're right from your left. Well, according to that, it's 16.6. So what is it down here? According to that, it's the same. So I don't know. It's a weird scenario thing, this. I've got to get me level crossing off. That's the hard part. Doing all the bits you've stuck to it over the years. It's getting these things, there we go. So one half of the level crossing's off. I've actually got a piece of cork there underneath that for some reason, but not there. It's been scrubbed out. Oh, we'll have to address all that. Anyway, we've got the curve out, but personally, I think that the edge of the rail is worn, and it's holding the train back. Maybe that one there's a dent in it there, see? You know, it takes little dents to stop a loco, especially at low speed like that. Yeah, it's got a dent there, so it could be catching it there. As daft as it may seem. Like I said, in modelling world, it doesn't take much to see. That's even less there. All right, 16.6. I don't know. I'm going to replace the track to stop any confusion, because like I said, it was the original track, so we'll go with that. Back in a sec. Right, at this point I've now redone all the track from there, all the way around that curve there, and up the station here. Okay, that's brand new track. Now I want to show you with the steam train what was happening. It would get to that point there and the train would stop, just sit there, wheel spinning. Why, I don't know, but since then I have found out, because I ended up replacing the track, okay, but then it still wouldn't work, it was worse. So I've had to, as you can see, strip out all the ballast and the cork and everything. I am not recorking that. That's added. So where the tender wheels are, that's where the joint is there. And I stripped it all out. And what was happening? There was a twist in the track. Now, because I took it back to the baseboards, the track is absolutely flat. And it works. That's the crazy part about it. So what I'll do is I'll just get the steam going on the loco, and we'll go around at speed step 1. Yeah, just give it a sec. When he gets one of these steam generated ones, you get a build up of moisture in the chimney. Anyway, there we go. Speed step 1, okay? And it would get to this point here, and it would just stop. It's like it was wedged or something. I have no issues now. Goes around great. So that's one little project sorted. What I've got to do now is just reballast it all, that's all. Well, what I'll do, I'll speed it up to 12 and wait for it to come round again. But that was my issue. I was trying to film on speed step 1 and it would sort of get jammed there for some reason. I thought it was the coaches, there was a wheel dragging. I thought the curve, the rail of the edge of the rail, you know, round this here, round this edge, I thought that was all worn out. And in the end, it was all about the ballast underneath the track. It sort of worked its way, and it was distorted the track, so it wasn't getting proper grip. Because on a steam engine, the chassis is rigid in it. It's not like a diesel where the bogie floats. It can go in all sorts of positions, and you've got multiple pickups and one thing and another. It it's very rigid, steam loco, and they will definitely find. If you've got track faults, it'll find it out. I'll tell you. Anyway, I'll just wait for it to come back, and as you can see, I've got the webcam there, so I was trying to film it and one thing and another, but there you go. And I was having all sorts of issues, well, now I've cured it. And that's speed step 12 there. And we get no slowdown. And I've moved the platform better, it's closer now. I didn't realise that was loose, but it's the damp and the winters and the summers, it just lifts everything after a while. Anyway, issues solved. Got a body down there. There we go. Let's start putting the houses back. And like I said, just got to get a tub of ballast to finish it, to redo all that again. Won't take long. Well, job done. Right, moving on.